Welcome the President Pro Tem, the Speaker, the Lieutenant Governor, with whom I've been meeting frequently over the last few days to talk about the fiscal and economic issues confronting our state. We're all working hard to reach adjournment of the General Assembly as quickly as possible, and I'm pleased to tell you that we've reached agreement on some tax and budget issues that should facilitate that goal. We've agreed to apply the 40% exclusion on the capital gains tax to investments in businesses, not to real estate or stock and bond holdings, but to investment in businesses that create jobs and move our economy forward. We've agreed to an increase in the exclusion of the estate tax next year, and further that when the federal government decides on what its level of exclusion is, we will provide legislative intent language to adhere to that. We've agreed that the challenges for change bill will move forward with some tweaking that the legislative draftsmen are still working on, but it will, I believe, achieve substantially the savings that we expect. The education fund will be in balance for fiscal year 2011. Beyond that, future legislatures will have to deal with. So I want to thank these gentlemen for their leadership and their hard work. I know there are a lot of different opinions. We've expressed them cordially, but candidly to each other during the course of this session. And I think we have achieved a compromise that is a reasonable middle ground that can pave the way for an orderly adjournment.
I'm very pleased that we've been able to reach an agreement. I think in the context of the difficult times that we find ourselves in, not only as a state, but in a country where we've faced very difficult unemployment in our state, which has caused pressures to our unemployment fund, but has also caused pressures to our human services budgets, making sure that people who are out of work have health care and who can provide for their families. We have been able to protect Vermonters who have been the most in need during these difficult times. And I think that through this budget, we actually will put ourselves on solid footing for the future of the state of Vermont. We've always known that the last 2 years that we've been involved with have been difficult, and that this problem would take years to solve. We've been able to do a lot of good work this year to put our fiscal house in order and protect the Vermonters who need to be protected. I think that this agreement puts us on a good path for the future, and I'm pleased that we were able to reach it today.
I just want to thank the Governor, the Speaker, Lieutenant Governor, and the entire legislative delegation for working together this session to meet the promise that we made when we came here in January. Balancing a tough budget, putting Vermont on a responsible fiscal spending path, doing so without raising broad-based taxes, and with growing jobs and growing our economy. That's what this agreement is about. It allows us to grow jobs, to get Vermonters back to work, to make steps to put Vermont on a fiscal spending path that's responsible. And we did so while solving really big problems that I think a lot of people didn't predict that we could do together by cooperating. We made big gains in ensuring that our retirement funds are affordable. We made big gains in solving unemployment insurance trust fund issues that other states are ignoring. So this has been a great session. I think we have a lot to be proud of, and I want to thank the Governor, the Speaker, legislative leadership, and all the legislators who worked so hard in a bipartisan fashion to put Vermont first and get the tough work done. Ryan?
Well, I'd like to also congratulate the entire legislature. Thank you, Governor, for your leadership. It's a difficult time for Vermonters. It's a difficult time for our country. I think the legislature should feel good about listening to people who came to the State House in the last several weeks and talked about the production reduction. Listened about the significance of the capital gains tax. The capital gains tax is by removing that barrier, we're going to bring more capital to our state and create more jobs. As the Speaker just talked about, the pressure on our social programs, the best social program is a good job. And by eliminating the capital gains tax, or at least treating it as we have and striking this compromise, we're going to bring more capital to our state to grow jobs and opportunities for Vermonters who are looking for them. So it's a difficult time. As the previous speakers have said, people have checked their egos at the door, worked together, rolled up their sleeves. And we have some difficult times going forward. The pressure on the Ed Fund, the fact that we have a $122 million deficit in 2012. I mean, this is a great step to solving additional problems that we face going forward. But I'm here to stand with the legislative leadership and the governor to say this is a great foundation to address the challenges that we all know that we face together.
So what changed between last night and today?
I think there was a lot of good work done by many people. Secretary Lunderville, Representative Obahowski, Representative Ansel, members of the Senate conferees, Representative Condon. People just made sure that they didn't close any doors and kept talking. I think that we realized that when we reached an impasse last night, that it was in part because we were all tired and had been working for a long period of time, and we just needed a couple hours to think about where we were and think about where we could go. I just think that it really was about trying to figure out where we could find common ground.
The coffee pot was empty about 8 o'clock, I think, and the cafeteria was closed, so we were replenished this morning. I think despite the fact that we come to this with different points of view on a lot of these issues, we have shared an interest in getting this resolved. Vermonters expect us to work together to find solutions, to reach some common ground, and our determination to do that has allowed us to come together.